If you think that safaris are unique only to Africa, think again.
Here in Palawan, they have their own version of these wildlife encounters, a wildlife park where African animals such as zebras and giraffes roam freely.
The Calauit Wildlife Sanctuary. In 1977, in response to an appeal to save animals endangered by a severe drought and civil war in Kenya, then-President Marcos offered this 3,700-hectare island as an African animal sanctuary.
We call it sanctuary because we are trying to propagate all endangered species that can be found here in the region Palawan, aside from the exotic animals that the government brought in here.
Because of its isolated location, land manageability, and similarity to the African terrain, climate, and vegetation, Calauit was the perfect place to house the initial 108 African animals that were brought in here. More than 20 years later, about 500 animals, giraffes, zebras, impalas, porcupine, wild pigs, bear cats, and mouse deer, among others, now call this sanctuary home, making it the destination for nature trippers and animal lovers alike. It's very Jurassic Park.
I think this is a very safe jeep to go in.
Yeah, after all, the herbivores are vicious. Perlan, alam mo, you know what would be perfect here? A lion.
No!
Just one lion. And then overnight campers get to experience the rush of being hunted.
I must say.
I must have an island, Tricia. I must have one soon.
After soaking in the island sights and African atmosphere, it was time for us to make our Calauit creature courtesy calls. And first on our meet and greet agenda, the wily and wiry Philippine mouse deer.
The Philippine mouse deer is considered as the smallest hoofed mammal in the world, standing only less than a foot tall. Although there are other known species of the mouse deer family found in other parts of Asia, mouse deer with 3 white stripes at the neck, said to symbolize Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, are native only to the Philippines.
I thought they were cute. They kind of look like squirrels to me. They have such, like, big bodies and very, very thin legs.
I think the term isn't mouse deer. They're actually more rat-like because they just move like rats. They scurry about. But I was hoping to be able to pet one, but these things just, they just travel at the speed of light.
No, well,
Mouse deer are known to be extremely shy, solitary, nocturnal vegetarians. Not wanting to cause any more stress to these high-anxiety creatures, we moved on to another curious local animal who were a bit more open to human contact, the Palawan bearcats.
What kind of... Are they raccoon-related?
They're under the family of Viveridae.
Okay.
Yeah, a combination of a deer and a cat. They're not a deer. They're not also a cat.
They are something in between.
They're an unusual animal.
Unusual maybe, but adorable nonetheless. Bearcats are nocturnal, tree-dwelling creatures that have a penchant for tropical fruits. These furry creatures have sharp canine teeth, but don't let appearances fool you. Bearcats are actually docile and appreciate the occasional pet or two. Hey, we're trying to get the boom mic and the bearcat to hook up, you know. Bearcat, meet Blackie the boom mic. I smell romance.
Sadly, bearcat numbers are slowly dwindling because of habitat destruction and the exotic pet smuggling trade. It is only in wildlife sanctuaries such as this where these hunted creatures have a sure chance of propagation and survival.
Okay, there was one bearcat which they found in a trap. And because of the severity of the trap just cut one of the bearcat's legs off. You know, I felt so bad for him because he was the alpha male. But at the same time, he only had 3 legs, and you could see that he was having a hard time climbing, but at the same time, it was nice because he was still surviving and he was still alive. I took it upon myself to call him Tripod. Tripod, the 3-legged bearcat.
Much as we were reluctant to say goodbye to Tripod and his friends, we set out for the Bearcat Enclave and eagerly headed straight for Calauit's main animal attractions, its majestic African inhabitants.
Zebras. Yeah, I expected them to be bigger. I expected them to be slightly more stallion-like, but up close when you see them, they look more like donkeys. You know, they're more mule-like than enforce, like...
Ano lifestyle ng mga zebra?
Well, zebras, they go on in a group, but during mating time, the males fight each other for supremacy.
Okay, well, males tend to do that in any species.
For me, I was more on the observant side. Try not to move so much because, you know, like being scared of being like trampled or something if I make like one wrong move and they get scared, you know.
They're staring at us in a non-friendly way. A sense of stampede. It's gonna come out in the headlines. Gameplan host stampeded to death. Being at such close proximity with the zebras was quite an amazing experience. This was way better than any trip to the zoo. But our time with these striped denizens didn't prepare us for our final close encounter. If it was any possible to make Tricia look any shorter, these giraffes would be it.
Standing at about 18 feet tall, these gentle tree browsers are hands down the stars of the sanctuary, seeming literally larger than life at close range.
This is the favorite of the giraffe, Malwandit.
With huge, adorable, long eyelashed eyes and a graceful demeanor, giraffes may look incapable of hurting a fly. But these long-necked herbivores are in fact quite powerful, known to possess a mean kick when provoked. As luck would have it, the female giraffe we met was in heat, so we took extra precautions while feeding it. You wouldn't want to arouse the jealous rage of its mate now, would you? What's nice about being exposed to animals, you know, face to face, is that you learn so much as opposed to just watching, you know, a documentary on TV or reading about it in a book. I felt more humbled by their presence because, you know, there's no more cage that separated me from the animals. There's no more barrier that made me seem like I was the more superior creature. Parang when you're in an open space with an actual wild animal, you just feel like, okay, here the playing ground is even, and you just feel like they're your equal.
One more.
All right.
Galing, no?
There's nothing quite like a full-on, hands-on sensory experience to make you appreciate the misunderstood and neglected things in life.
I say there's nothing better than capping off a trip with this slice of safari life.
So from Calauit, I'm Carlo.
And I'm Tricia.
And now, the sad part. You know the sad part about shoots like this is when it has to come to an end.
So is this a part where we play our final flashback highlight montage cut to sentimental music?
Yes, this is the part.
Most people say that kulang yung oras nila because there are so many places to go to. And we only have a few days, and it's really lacking.
It's very bitin. There's so much to see. There's so much to do. There's so many islands to check out.
The bottom line is, you just have to go back. And how can you not want to come back to this? World-class visuals that require no passport to see, experiences that combine both the educational and spiritual, and of course, the homegrown people who make you feel right at home. When you've tasted all this and still find yourself wanting more, you know you've found someplace special. With that in mind, we do hope that we've inspired you to make our adventures your own for real.
Believe it or not, there's a whole lot to see out there, and you've got only one life to do it. This has been Tricia.
And Carlo.
And that's our game plan.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the caffeine is settled in.
Go swim, Hill!
See, actual shooting is only done 1 hour a day. And the rest, we do this.
Bern, yan na lang ang anuin mo, bingwitin, o, yan, o. Laki, o.
I'm Tricia.
I'm Carlo.
And that's the game plan.
Wait mo yung t-shirt mo.